In this video, we're going to show you how to take a TrueType font that you've created and convert it into a sticky flock ready version. And we're also going to show you how to convert it into a TrueType font using EasyStone. We're going to go ahead and import this font that was sent to us recently by the Stone Ranger. And the Stone Ranger is using Adobe Illustrator, so it doesn't have advantage of these tools here in EasyStone. So we're going to convert that for him into a sticky flock file as well as a TrueType font. And let me show you how incredibly simple it is. So the first thing we're going to do is ungroup everything. We're going to get rid of this text here at the bottom. We don't need that. And then he gave us two versions of the letter A. I'm going to select the one I like the best. Two versions of the letter Q. And the first thing we want to do is line everything up on one line. So the way I would do this is just come in here, we'll make a selection. We'll take the letter I here from center to center, move it over a little bit, take the next line of text, same kind of thing. We'll just move it. We'll do the bottom of the R to the bottom of the P, slide it over, and then finally this last bit here, like so. Okay, so now we have everything in one single line. Very important that all your upper and lowercase lettering be on one single line when you're creating TrueType fonts and when you're creating your sticky flock version as well. Now what we're going to do is make sure there are no overlapping stones. So we're going to select the whole thing and click on C for check spacing. There is one overlap, so we'll go ahead and dispose of it. And then what we need to do is we need to fix one thing here. I noticed this. These two stones are actually merged together as one, and we can't have that. So we're just going to make two separate ones, and we'll delete the merged version. If we go into wireframe mode, now you can see these are two separate stones. Okay? So that takes care of that. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to, each letter, each number needs to be one shape. And so if we select the stones for the number 0 here, you can see there's actually 25 stones for the number 0. So what we need to do is make them all one. And so we actually have a tool that does this for us automatically. So right here on our font tab, we have group and combine letters. We're going to use the combine letter function. And what we're telling EasyStone is any circles that are within 2 millimeters of one another, combine it into one shape. So we click on the combine letter function. And now if you come in here, now the number 0 has a space between elements that's greater than 2 millimeters. So we need to select those two individual pieces and combine them into one. But as soon as we do that and select all of our numbers, you can see we have 10 objects are now selected. Now over here, same kind of thing. You can see we have 29 objects, but of course in the alphabet there's only 26 letters. And that is because we have our O has 2 elements. We'll combine that. And the M has 3 elements, and we'll combine that. And so now if we select all of our lettering, now you can see we in fact have only 26 letters. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to convert this into a sticky flock alphabet. I'm going to make a copy so we can use that a bit later, and watch how incredibly simple this is. Now, if you've ever created a sticky flock font, to create all the individual weed boxes around your letters and numbers, you know what a painstaking task that is. And EasyStone is really separated from the competition because it's the only software that I know of that can do this for you with one single click of the mouse and literally in just a second. It only takes a second. And so it's a really powerful, huge time saver. So if we go into the font manager here in EasyStone, there's two parts of our font manager. One is the font finder and one is Easy Font. So we click on the Easy Font tab, and right here there's a function called Create the Weed. Now we can set our weed margin. By default it's always 2 millimeters because that's what I like. But if you want a different weed margin, you can use it. Now watch what happens. One click of the mouse, instantaneously, there it is. All of your weed boxes are automatically configured and added for you. And really that is an amazing tool. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to cut this out, right? So we need to cut a alphabet layout. So what we're going to do is select the entire alphabet here. we're going to copy it to a new document. We're going to paste it, and we're going to use our new tool, which is the prep for cut function. So here for our template material width, we're going to use 8.5 inches. And then offset, I always use 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. But we're going to select all of our lettering here, and we're going to click on Create Cut Layout. And watch the software work its magic. How cool is that? Just that quickly, now we have this ready to cut. We can delete this part. We don't need that. And now we're ready to cut. Just that simple. Now, what if we have a situation where you want a couple of duplicate of the letters? Well, let's say you want a duplicate A. You just hit the plus key on your keyboard. Duplicate E, duplicate I don't know, duplicate O, maybe a duplicate M, a duplicate S, whatever you want to do, right? Well, now you select your lettering and you hit Create Cut Layout and watch what happens. If you look here, we have 2 A's, we have 2 E's, we have 2 I's, 2 O's, 2 N's, 2 S's. And we're ready to send this to the cutter to cut. And it's that simple. So real huge time saver. Now back over here for our numbers, we would probably drop this down to like 6.5 inches. And we'll go ahead and choose our Create Cut Layout. And there is our number layout. So we can send that to the cutter as well. So really, really powerful tool here for creating your sticky flock alphabets and record time. Just a second or two, we can handle that very easily. So now the fun part, right? The next part is showing you how to create a TrueType font, because that's really what this is all about. So let me show you what we're going to do here. We're not going to create the whole font just for time constraints, but let's select enough letters to do the word Eagles. All right, let's go ahead and select all of our numbers too, just so you can get a good idea how this works. Okay, so now we have enough letters for the word Eagles, and we have all of our numbers. Let me show you how to create a TrueType font. So what we're going to do first of all is right-click on the Export Font button, and what that does is it changes your CorelDRAW parameters, get it ready for TrueType font output. So you see these two guidelines that are created? What we need to do is take all of our lettering, stack it up. So I just hit the L key on my keyboard. That lines everything up to the left edge, and drag this right to the corner. That's it. So now we're ready to export this font. So we'll choose Export Font. We'll select everything. Choose Export Font. And let's give, we'll call it Stone Ranger because he's the one who created it. So we'll call it Stone Rangers. I'll call it Terraplot. I don't know. Whatever you want to name it. Just having some fun. So we'll call it Terraplot. Go ahead and choose the Export Font button. And for the family name, same thing. I just paste it. So it's called the same thing. And then we're ready to go ahead and choose OK. And watch this. So there's our letter A. So we map it to the capital letter A. And you see all of the mappings for parentheses and dashes and periods. It's all here. So we just map it. So we map it to capital A. We map it to capital G. We map it to capital S. We map it to the number 3, to the number 4, to the number 5, to the number 6, to the number 9, to the number 7, to the number 2, to the number 1, to the letter L, to the letter E, to the number 8, to the number 0, and that's it. Now, the next thing that we need to do is copy that TrueType font into our Windows folder, okay? So we copy that into our Windows Fonts folder, so C drive, Windows, and Fonts. And then, now I've already done that because I have 3 computer screens, so I did that off camera here. And so now we're ready to try this out. So let's just type out the word Eagles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and see what we got. So now we're going to open up our font manager, and remember, we're going to go to our font finder, and remember what we called it? Terraplot. So there it is. So you can see it's loaded up. We click on that button, and there it is. There is the word Eagles, and you can see it's perfectly spaced out there. and our numbers. Now, if we want the lettering to be a little bit closer, just use these right here, and that will make our lettering a little bit closer. Now, when we want to set the stone, if you look here, see these aren't perfect circles, but that's why we have this function here in the font manager that will allow us to take care of that. So we will just set our stone size to what we want it to be, which in this case is 3.4 millimeters. And when we hit resize font, it just automatically resizes those circles. And now you can see those circles are perfect circles. But there is the word Eagles and of course our numbers ready to go. Okay? So that's all there is to creating TrueType fonts and sticky flock versions. So if you have fonts that you've purchased that aren't a TrueType font, very easy to create your own TrueType font. Or if you have fonts that are TrueType fonts, but you don't have a sticky flock version of it, you can just type out the whole font and add your weed boxes. So in this case here, you can see, let's just do that quick, just so you can get a better understanding. So we're going to just type out the word Eagles, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So you bought a TrueType font. You don't have a sticky flock version. You go ahead and you click on that. What I would do then is add some spacing um, between your letters. Then what you do is go ahead and convert it to the stone size you want, which in this case is SS10s. So we do that. Then what we need to do is we need to come in here and we'll use that combine letter function. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to change the color. And then we're going to come back over here to Easy Font, go to the Easy Font tab and choose Create the Weed. And there you go. And then, of course, we can set our spacing. We'll use 1/8 inch spacing. And now you can see we have our sticky flock version of our font. So how simple and easy is that to do? So if you have a TrueType font that you don't have a sticky flock version, you can convert it into a sticky flock version really in just a matter of a couple of seconds. Or if you have a font that's not a TrueType font, equally easy to convert it into a TrueType font. So it's a lot easier to use, because one of the advantages to using a TrueType font, of course, is now we can come in here and we can use this option of text to path. So if we type out the word Eagles, for example, there's our word Eagles. And now because it's on a path here, so now I have my word Eagles, and now I want to convert this into, go back to my font finder, I want to use the Terraplot font. So there's my Terraplot font. We'll make this a little bit bigger. So now you can see my Eagles is a nice and rotated like this. Now I can come in here and change the spacing between letters too. I can increase the spacing there, or decrease the spacing, or increase it, either way. But once I get it the way I want it, like so, then of course I can hit resize font, and that will resize those to perfect SS10 size circles, and I have a nice rounded font. So lots of advantages to using TrueType fonts. So hopefully this gets you excited to try it. If you don't have Easy Stone, but you do have Corel Draw, well, download it. Try it. Go through the video a couple of times because there are several steps involved, but try it, and you can be able to create your own TrueType fonts and your own sticky flock versions as well. Thanks for watching.